Hi everyone, my name is Kara and today I will be talking about Cape Scott Provincial Park. Cape Scott Provincial Park is located on the northwestern tip of Vancouver Island in British Columbia, Canada. The park spans for about 22,294 hectares, covering various ecosystems like coastal temperate rainforest, grassland, bog, and white sandy beaches. This area is known to be one of the wettest and muddiest places on all of Vancouver Island due to the strong coastal influence of the Pacific Ocean. Here are some photos of the Cape Scott landscapes from my own adventures in the area. As shown by the three photos, the landscape varies quite significantly throughout the area. Cape Scott Provincial Park is home to a very diverse range of both terrestrial and aquatic wildlife species. Most commonly, black bears, wolves, and cougars roam the land. If you are to adventure around the area, it is very important that you take precautions for these wild mammals. So that means following leave no trace principles and carrying bear spray. While we were on the trail, we even witnessed some wolf tracks, so they're definitely there. Among these large mammals happens to be a significant population of mice in the area. I included that picture of a mouse because while I was hiking in the park, some mice somehow got into our food cache, where you can securely store your food overnight, and ended up eating and peeing on our loaf of bread. So beware of the wildlife in the area, as even the littlest of the creatures can cause you harm. And finally, the Cape Scott area has a significant historical context. In 1960, the Danish attempted to settle in the Cape Scott area, but the weather conditions and the remoteness of the location posed too much of a risk for the Danish. Although throughout the park are remnants of the attempted settlement. At the very northwestern tip of the park is the Cape Scott Lighthouse. This lighthouse was built in 1960 and is currently in operation by the lighthouse keepers of the Canadian Coast Guards. The old trail leading to the property and the foghorn were built during World War II to give members of the Department of National Defense access to the beach. So this beautiful area is accessible for recreational use only by car. In my own experience, I drove from Nanaimo, BC, which is indicated by this red star, on Highway 19, down the coast of northern Vancouver Island all the way to the trailhead of Cape Scott. This route took about 6 hours with gas and food stops. Cape Scott Park hosts a variety of recreational opportunities like canoeing, swimming, hiking, fishing, and wildlife viewing. For my own adventure in Cape Scott, I hiked the 48-kilometer main trail with my friend over the course of 2 nights and 3 days. If you look closely on the map, you can see that there are many other trails branching off the main trail that can make the hike hardier. On the first day of the trip, we hiked 3 kilometers to Eric Lake and stayed the night. This is shown by the two tents on the pads shown on the left. The next morning, we hiked all the way to Nell's Bite, another 14 kilometers with our 40-pound packs. From there, we left our bags and set up camp, then hiked 7 kilometers there and back to the lighthouse. The next morning, we hiked all the way from Nell's Bite base camp to the trailhead, approximately 17 kilometers. From there, we drove back to Nanaimo. My experience at Cape Scott will be one to remember. For almost the entire hike, it relentlessly rained, so we cut our trip short by 1 day. Although hiking in constant rain and setting up a tent in wet sand is far from a pleasant experience, it made for pretty great memories. After the hike, my body was incredibly sore for about 2 days, and I'm still experiencing side effects from it, but I love how hiking can give your body and mind an opportunity to push itself to the maximum. I hope to go back to Cape Scott one day soon to hike every inch of that park. That is, if the weather is good. I absolutely love to hike and adventure, so if this presentation sparked your interest, send me a message on Canvas. Thank you for listening.